You already know what time it is, baby. We got to talk about basketball wives. Oh, yes, we do. But before we get into that, I'm sure you guys have seen some strange things on this thumbnail, and we're going to get into all of that in just 1 second. But I don't know why y'all didn't let me know this. I knew that Tamar had called Kandi a billy goat yesterday, but what I did not know was that she said that the woman could not sing. Oh, yes. Our friends over at the Bravo Shade Room had posted this. Now, apparently, Kandi and her speak on it. I don't know if you guys have watched it yet. Now, I ain't had a chance to watch the whole thing, but shout out to Kandi for mentioning me pulling up some receipts in that video. And shout out to her for mentioning some of the other great content creators that we got out there in around these here YouTube parts. We see you, Kandi. We appreciate you for recognizing us, and we thank you. Now, let's get into what was being said. So, Kandi was describing, some of the reasons for why they were asking for top billing. And in this particular clip, she was saying that Escape's booking fee is 3 times more than SWV's. Now, she does again go on to praise SWV for the accolades that they have made, but she also talks about how promoters are much less likely to want to book and pay as much when a group is doing so many shows, as SWV did tell us that they do about between 50 to 100 and something maybe shows per year. So the promoters will feel like, well, everybody done already seen you, so why should we pay you more money? She also went on to say she didn't even know the last time that she had heard of SWV headlining a show, at least here in the United States. And it was about, just them getting paid the fee that they were supposed to get and then not having to split that fee. So you got to get into the video to watch the whole thing. However, the thing that we want to talk about right now is Tamar then went on the line and said, imagine the biggest ego for the most non-singing person in the entire music industry. Then she says, stream my new hit song, Changed, where I paid homage to the amazing SWV. Okay. Now, I did hear that song Changed, and it's a nice little bop. Then she goes on to say, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back to my old self. Being called a victim triggered me. But she can't sing, though. Sorry. Now, let me tell you something right now. I told y'all earlier when I saw that she had called her a billy goat, that I was like, there is no coming back from this. It is over. It is a wrap. These two women will likely never be able to make amends or come back from any of this. Now, I don't know what y'all think, who's in the right or who's in the wrong. You guys let me know. It's like literally Kandi versus SWV, Kandi versus Tamar. It is going down, but Kandi seemed like she's doing just fine because she was still up on that Amazon making that good coin. So listen, everybody got things going on. Everybody got things popping. So let's just live in peace. Can't we all just get along? Okay, and at least until the next thing pops off, or at least until Andy asks Tamar to get on Real Housewives of Atlanta next season. Bloop. All right, so we got to talk about basketball wives because, that's what we got to do, right? Okay, so let's get into it because Jackie was doing some stunts and shows in this episode, and I'm trying to figure out what is really going on with Jackie and Jennifer, because this episode was Jackie versus Jennifer versus Selling Sunset, which is the reason why Christine Quinn from Selling Sunset, or used to be from Selling Sunset, is on the thumbnail, okay? And we're going to get into the who, what, why, and where, and how Selling Sunset even fits into Basketball Wives, because it was a very interesting little drop. And I'm going to give this episode, I'm going to give this episode an 8.5. I want to give it a 9 because of that little twist right there. But I mean, there were some repetitive things going on in this episode, so I feel like I don't really know if I can reach up that high and give it a 9. What do you think? Let me know in the chatterization what you thought about it. I felt like I did like that little Selling Sunset twist because I didn't know that was coming, that little reveal that Jackie gave us. And Jackie is continuing to do the work, although I cannot follow Jackie's logic all the time. So we're going to have to wait and see. Also, shout out to Carlos King because I know that he did an interview with Jackie. I need to go and watch it. But you know what? The news been popping and dropping, and I just ain't had a moment to breathe, okay? And I'm going to need for y'all to slow down out there. I'm going to need for everybody to slow down, saddle down, and sit down somewhere, okay? At least for a minute. Let me catch my breath because all this news, I can't even get my other work done. Meanwhile, let's get into the review. So we start the episode off, Angel is with her daughter. Okay, she's balancing time with her middle child, but we learn that the middle child has been getting migraines. Now, apparently, Angel used to get the migraines when she was younger, but the daughter is now getting them. And apparently, if she don't get the medicine soon enough, she'll get sick and start to vomit, which will happen later, unfortunately. And in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, while Angel is running rampant and ragged, I'm like, girl, do you have a nanny? Is there somebody that can help you? Do you have an assistant? Do you have an atelier set up where people can do all some of this work for you? What is going on? Like, I do feel like she is taking on a whole lot. But the other thing, I feel like we hear a lot about what she got going on with all these celebrities and things like that. But I need to see some of the celebrities. When is Mary J. Blige walk pumping through? When is Tiana Taylor pumping through? When are these? I mean, I always talk about how on these shows you have to show and tell. And I know I'm being picky, but for as much as we hear about how Angel is, overwhelmed with the work and stuff like that. Now I can see the home because I feel like they're showing us that, but they're not really showing us the work. They just be showing her in her office and stuff like that. And the last time we saw her in her shop was with British when she didn't even help her. British didn't get nothing from her. She couldn't even. You mean to tell me she couldn't just hand British something off the rack that day? No, there was nothing in that she could take. Anyway, I know I'm being picky, and y'all can light me up in the comments for being picky, but I'm just trying to give it to y'all real because I don't have the patience to be politically correct right now. Meanwhile, if y'all knew what time of the night I was actually filming this review at, you would you would understand why I don't have the energy or the strength to be anything other than real and raw right now. So let's go ahead and get it popping. Side note, she is wearing those earth-sized earrings again. Again, I don't know how them earlobes is still hanging on. I'm sure they're hanging on by a thread because them earrings be dangling to the ground. They be dragging the ground like somebody's prom dress. Meanwhile, Jen is with her ex, Jelani. I say ex because we know she not with that man no more. They should just cut his scenes out altogether because honestly, the jig is up. We know, okay? We know it ain't. We know it ain't no more. It's like, come on now, just cut this man's scene out. You ain't even got to tell us why he out the show anymore because we already know. Anyway, they toast him to being successful. Isn't that funny? She's recapping LA Fashion Week and the debacle with Jackie, and she even shows him a video that Brooke had taken and sent to Jennifer of Jackie stalking the walking the runway alongside of Jennifer. Now, she feels like it's weird because she never had an issue with Jackie, and she feels like it might be a little bit of jealousy. And then, she says that Jackie has been making some kind of slick comments. So he tells her, well, just check her intentions or whatever. So anyway, British is hanging out with her daughter Dash, and Jackie stops by to bring the girl some, toys, and she bought a bottle or something. I don't know if it's apple cider or what, but British wants to know why Jackie's being so mean to Jennifer. And Jackie says that she's sorry to British, but she does not give an F about Jen. Jackie feels like there's a lot that's been said by Jennifer behind the scenes, and that Jennifer is presenting a different version of herself to the rest of the group. And she plans on confronting Jennifer, and Jackie is ready to light her on fire. Now, I'm kind of like, now, Jackie, where is this coming from? Is this something that because we need something to do, on this show? Is this all this fire and angst because Jennifer revealed that alleged thing about Malaysia? Is that a residual? Because that I could almost understand because, Jackie and Malaysia was the close and everything like that. So I could see her having some residual anger from that, but it doesn't seem to be that. But we're going to find out what it is very soon. And let me tell you something. When I found out, I was like, what? Anyway, so Brandi is cooking for British and Brooke. And actually, what I noticed is it's not just British that only wears workout gear. It's everybody. Everybody on the show has got the Nike body suit on. Everybody's got a cat suit on. So, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm behind the times and the tracksuit is the new couture. Well, actually not for Jennifer because Jennifer about the real couture, but don't tell Jackie. Meanwhile, Brandi has not talked to Duffy since the fashion show, and Brandi feels like Duffy saying, it hits all her triggers, every last trigger that Brandi got, and she got a lot of them. Brent apparently Duffy gets loud and Duffy will be giving her attitude. And Brooke tells her that Duffy may not realize her triggers, but Brandi feels like it's not that big of a deal and she knows how to control herself. And they're looking at her like, girl, no, you don't. Anyway, British has been having some bad dreams about the feds chasing her, go figure, and she wants to bash everything. So what better way to do that than to go to a rage room? So it's so funny to me as I watch this show how lightly they are taking this indictment. It's just like, you know what? It's like, oh girl, I got a traffic ticket. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this is just a, it's just an annoyance, like a mosquito biting me or something like that. And I'm like, no, this is serious. This is very severe. Like, why are we not taking this more seriously? And to be fair, I'm sure she probably is. But I think right now what British is doing is she's living through the annoyances of this ankle monitor. So I have to commend her for continuing to film and to continuing to try to be a trooper through this whole situation. Now, if she did what she did, now shame on her. But I mean, because we ain't really got to that. I mean, I need to hear I did not do the things that I am being accused of. Okay. I think I really do. I mean, we kind of skirting past that unless she said it and I did not hear it, unless I missed it a moment. Did I blink? Did I fall asleep on the episode? Did I go and get a drink of water? Did I have to go to the bathroom? Did did I order the pizza? Did the Uber person come and I had to go get the food? When did she say it? Did she say it at all? Do we know? You know what I'm saying? Or was it one of those things where they just wrote it up in, in an article or somewhere like that where she said she maintained her innocence or the lawyer said it? I need to hear it verbatim out her mouth. I did not do the things that I'm being accused of. That's what I want to know. Anyway, Jackie and Duffy hang out and they recap the fashion show. And of course, Duffy is frustrated that she got into that public argumentation with Brandi. And she feels like the way that she communicated with Brandi was wrong. And in my mind, I'm like, I don't feel like you were wrong at all. I feel like Brandi is the person that's in the wrong, but Duffy seems to be the person that's taking it on the chin. And to be quite frank with you, I feel like Duffy is probably the more emotional, mature person in this situation. And I hate to say that because, I am not a therapist, but I'm just saying, but I did have a therapy session last week, which I will tell you guys about, but now is really not the time. And I know a lot of people be here just for the review and they be upset when I go off on a tangent like that. But honestly, I don't really care. Get mad if you want to, because I did have a therapy session and it went very, very well. And it was well overdue. But my point in saying this is that Duffy is doing the work, but we're going to get to that in a minute because I don't feel like Brandi's doing any work other than trying to break some stuff in the rage room. But we'll talk about that when we get to it. Meanwhile, Duffy does not want to be around Brandi right now because she needs to talk to her therapist first, and she's not trying to be the same person that she used to be. Meanwhile, back at Angel's office, she gets a FaceTime from British. And so Angel is still, overwhelmed with all the things that she got to do that that we can't see. Show me, you know what I want to see? Show me her making some of these dangling earrings that be hanging from her ear to the street. Okay. I want to see how she is making these earrings that are the size of tires on a Hummer. I need to see how she is putting these things together, how she is inserting that earring in the hole in her ear, and how her earlobe is not the size of the Sahara Desert. I need to see it. Somebody let me know. Angel, I want to see it. I respect your craft. I respect what you do because, girl, you are doing it and making the money, and she is every woman, okay? But I want to see how it's done. Show me, okay? Stop telling me you busy. Show me. And that may be on the fault of production. So production, show and tell. Show and tell. Meanwhile, okay, back at the ranch, Angel is overwhelmed. So British invites her to the rage room. Angel ain't never heard of a rage room, but she down to go. Jackie invites Brandi over for some food that she did not cook. And Jackie reveals that she's been in a dark mood. Can you tell? So Brandi's like, well, do you got a bone to pick with Jen or something like that? Now, Jackie tells Brandi that Jennifer is being overly sensitive. That's basically the gist of what she said, which is completely different from what she told British. And it's starting to make me a little suspect. Like, Jackie, is you just picking on Jennifer because you need something to do? I don't know. But According to Jackie, she is not bored. She does fashion shows. She does all the things. And so Jackie's a boss. And I ain't nothing you can tell me otherwise. So anyway, then we finally get why Jackie is mad and called Jennifer a giraffe. Oh, yes, she did. She called Jennifer all kinds of names, but giraffe was the one that stuck out to me. And it's the one that's going to come back and bite her in the butt in a minute. But apparently, Jackie, remember when Jackie took Jennifer to that listing? Because, Jackie is getting her real estate exam, mine coming up too. Anyway, Jennifer called and told her that she, for some reason, that the listing was lower end and it hurt Jackie's feelings. But that's not all that was said. So bookmark this for later on in our conversation, because it's about to get juicier. So then we get a scene from British that is like, they just then cut this scene in from out of nowhere. Basically, the producer's like, can we come in? And they go inside British's room. Clearly, she's been on the phone with her lawyer. Her lawyer then told her, because she got to FaceTime somebody and tell them. So she FaceTime Brooke and tell them, girl, they're not going to be able to get this ankle monitor off me anytime soon. And now it's messing up me being able to move like I want to. You cannot move like you want to because there is an indictment, okay? It's not just the ankle monitor, boo. It is the indictment in general. And you thought you could move how you wanted to move, which is what got you the ankle monitor in the beginning, okay? So I do feel for British, because British, honestly, this season is a very likable character. And British is actually she's a beautiful girl. And I feel like this indictment it's just sending me. It's got me in a chokehold with this whole British situation. And I'm trying to understand it. Did you or did you not do the things that you are being accused of? Yes or no? It just put an X beside yes or no. Somebody in the chat, put an X, yes or no. Did she do it or not? Because that's what I need to know. Anyway, I'm frustrating myself and I need to stop. Let's move on. So the ladies all arrive at the rage room, and British has been covering up her. My gosh, she's found another way to cover up that ankle monitor. This time she has stretched the fabric from her workout gear over the ankle monitor as if this was a new concept. Why wasn't you doing this all along? The moment that ankle monitor went onto my ankle, and Lord, I hope it's never the case, but the moment that monitor went on, it would have been covered with a big old Ugg boot, okay? You would never have seen it. It would be Uggs all day. It would have been them big red boots that everybody been wearing. That ankle monitor would have squoze down up in there some kind of way, and you would have never seen it, okay? How about that? And I would have been in style. How about that? Meanwhile, what was I saying? Oh, speaking of fashions, Jennifer arrives in her leather designer outfit to the rage room, no less, and her Prada boots. Now, I had me wondering for myself. I do not own a pair of Prada boots. I was with a friend of mine as he bought some Prada boots, and I thought to myself, well, he told me them things hurt. But anyway, what I thought to myself was, now could British have put a Prada boot over top of that ankle monitor? If you got a Prada boot, let me know. Now, if I'm correct, the things zip up a little bit. And so I'm sure they make a boot for a big ankle, right? To follow my logic, they have got to make a boot for a big ankle. And so instead of a big ankle, it's just a big ankle monitor. So would the Prada boot fit over the ankle monitor? Somebody let me know in the chat, because I know one of y'all got some Prada boots or some Nada boots. You know what I'm saying? But again, Uggs will do. But I digress. Angel arrives in heels as well. Where are they going? Where are they going? They think they're going to the club. This is the rage room. Anyway, y'all know what's funny to me as I watch this show? Y'all remember how they treated Angel Brinks like trash when she was first on the show. And look at her now. Probably one of the most successful outside of Jackie, because she does the things. Jackie is a maven at everything. And I know Jennifer's life is popping too. But anyway, I say all that to say, it's just funny how things have come around all of a sudden. Okay. Anyway, Jackie arrives and she is walking the runway because she is trying to throw another dig at Jennifer. And I'm thinking to myself, what's going on here? And Jennifer's like, she gonna need to do a whole lot more walking if she want to catch up with me. And I'm like, Jennifer, I hope that you are able to shade her as effectively in person as you do behind the scenes in a confessional. Okay. So meanwhile, Duffy has skipped this event altogether because she needs some therapy in order to deal with Brandi. And to be quite honest with you, I feel like I need therapy in order to deal with Brandi because she got a lot of triggers and a lot of things that she got going on with her. And she feels to me like the most difficult person to be friends with. But maybe not. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. So anyway, she meets with the therapist. You know, Duffy reveals that she's loud and aggressive when she argues, and she gets it from her daddy because he was in the military. But she also realizes that that's not a proper way to communicate. Now, what I like is that Duffy is actively trying to learn and grow and doing the work, unlike Brandi. And I feel like, she talks about how Brandi talks down to her and how, the therapist really does walk with her through like disengaging from those situations versus getting into an argument. And she's proud of Duffy because that's what Duffy essentially did the last time they got together. And to be quite frank with you, I personally believe that Duffy may be growing out of a friendship with Brandi because I just feel like Brandi has a certain expectation of Duffy and a certain way that she feels like she can treat Duffy, likely because they have been friends for so long. And I've seen this happen with friendships before. But anyway, I think that's even about to get worse next week based on the preview. So at the rage room, they got to write down words on plates and they break things and everybody's breaking stuff. I mean, honestly, if you didn't see a rage room on TV, you didn't seen it all. I ain't never been to a rage room. It don't really seem that productive to me. I feel like if I'm frustrated, I'm going to go work out or something like that. I'm going to take a walk. I'm going to run. I don't need to be banging stuff because I feel like, the moment I start hitting on something, that something going to pop up and it's going to hit me in the face. So that's why I don't do stuff like that. I'm risk adverse at this point in my life. So anyway, it's time for drinks and Angel is running late. So Jackie calls Angel and reveals that somewhere in betwixt the time period that they left the rage room and they then got to the Oasis place to get their drinks, Angel has gotten a call from the hospital and had to go to the hospital. So she then got to the hospital in betwixt the time that they was all traveling. Now, from my experience, if you know Los Angeles, I feel like Angel lives out there in the way of the Calabasas. So I'm trying to think to myself, if they was in LA at the rage room, I'm trying to time that. Was this the same day? Anyway, don't mind me. The bottom line is Angel's baby girl is in the hospital because the migraines have gotten bad and she's vomiting. So we're going to send up a word of prayer that her daughter gets the treatment that she needs and that she is well and good and that the hand of the Lord touches her. Okay. So anyway, they all realize that they're all going through things at the moment. And Jackie just loves the accountability, but she too has fallen short. So she asked Jen if she felt the way about the fashion event. And Jen is like, I am very confident and I don't feel like anyone can show me up. But your slick, undermining comments, Jackie, is what bothered me. And I did hear that you called me a giraffe. And Jackie is looking like, who said that? Who said that? I didn't call you a giraffe. I called you a donkey. I'm like, Jackie. Now, first of all, we know she called her a giraffe. I don't know where she got donkey from, but I don't think that's any better. I don't know which one is worse, but all I know is the group is trying to hold her accountable, but Jackie ain't having it. She says that she has been acting foul once she heard that Jen was upset about the fashion show. And I'm like, Jackie, this is not what you mad about. You need to give it to me because Jackie says she got paid to walk in shows, but she don't know if Jen gets paid to walk in shows. And Jen is big and bold and bad this season, baby, because Jen pops up out that seat and says, do I look like a model or what? And then she gets to strutting around that restaurant. And I'm thinking to myself, this is the strangest thing I've ever seen in my life. And she's given a demo. So then Jackie needs to do her walk. And next thing you know, they catwalking in the restaurant trying to see who can vogue the best. So then everybody's like, why are they so competitive? So British tells Jackie that she said some hurtful things about Jen. And Jackie says, okay, I've been being childish. I'm going through some things and it feels like, maybe this is all a misunderstanding. She's trying to sweep it under the rug, but Jennifer is not letting it go. Jennifer says it's not a misunderstanding and you are making all of this about you. And finally, we get to the heart of the matter with Jackie, okay? Jackie is upset about the phone call that occurred after the real estate listing that she took Jen to. And Jackie is like, do you know what you did and said that hurt me? And of course, Jennifer doesn't know. And Jackie is stretching this thing out. But baby, when she said it, I thought it was eye opening for whatever reason. So follow me here. Jackie says, you said, I don't know why you would go and do an open house like that. They give the white girls on Selling Sunset way better houses than that. And so Jackie was butt hurt by that. And she also says that she blames it on the stress of having to take the test, which I understand as I'm trying to study for now, but I can't because all this news keeps popping off. Anyway, let's get into this statement. I don't know why you would do an open house like that. They give the white girls on Selling Sunset way better houses than that. Let's talk about it. Let's really talk about it. So, Selling Sunset and Basketball Wives cannot be equated, to be very honest with you, in terms of the what I believe to be the production value of the show. This is not to knock Basketball Wives, VH1, or the production company that is putting together Basketball Wives. But what I will say is that the production on Selling Sunset is very glossy. You can tell that they put a lot of effort into it. And they are catering to these are $1 million listings that they're showing. And yes, Jackie's listing was not multi-million dollars or anything like that. But let's look at a couple of things. Jackie has not even gotten her license yet. These are allegedly licensed agents, and I say allegedly because according to Christine, what we see ain't really what's really real for some of these agents on Selling Sunset. And the tea on the streets be that not most, but some of those agents don't really be selling like that on Selling Sunset. So Selling Sunset might be selling us a dream, allegedly, according to Christine Quinn and other sources. So there's a lot of gloss that goes into Selling Sunset, and they do show us these high-end homes, but that doesn't mean that they are selling those homes as we may seem to think that they do on the show. Okay, so we might be looking at a bigger budget, definitely, absolutely. So we're not. This is apples and oranges, but is it fair? That's a good question. Selling Sunset is a show with the premise about selling real estate. Basketball Wives is a show with the premise about following the lives of the women who are married to basketball players or former players, girlfriends, exes, and of the sort of former players, and the drama that ensues. So no, they're probably not going to be shelling out a lot of money so that Jackie can go visit a multi-million dollar listing when she doesn't even have her license. It doesn't really even make that much sense, okay? And they already got to blow the budget on these Airbnbs and these corporate housing that they probably putting these girls in, or at least what it looks like they putting these out of town girls in. And if they got to be flying British back and forth and whoever else back and forth to see their home, ain't nobody got time to be spending all this money trying to get these multi-million dollar listings. Now, okay, now what I will say is this: if it had been me, we definitely would have been in something. But just so you guys understand this, like from my understanding, for some brokerages, there is a fee that's associated with being able to actually get those multi-million dollar listings. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that is what I have heard based on my research in getting my license. So there's a lot that goes into it, a lot more. And I know that also I believe Jennifer has a real estate license as well. So maybe that's also why she was extra critical of this as well. So I really wanted to take that and digest it in a multitude of different ways because I did feel like it was super important for us to talk about the reasons why there might be the disparity of what those white girls get on Selling Sunset versus what was gotten on Basketball Wives. Give me your thoughts on the episode, and I'll catch you in the next video.